There was an American photographer by the name of Stephen Curry who, in 1984, took a picture of a young girl in a Pakistan refugee center, and she was from Afghanistan. But he just snapped a picture and did not get her name and address. And that is the picture that is the thumbnail for this essay. And I remember seeing that years ago, and I mean, the eyes on that young girl were haunting. There was a person who was, turns out, about 13 years old at the time of the picture in 1984, who had seen the worst of the worst in the world. And it's obvious that she is suffering. Interestingly, National Geographic has spent approximately 20 years trying to find the Afghan girl, which was the name that they used to describe her, because that's all they had other than the photograph. And they did find her in 2002, nearly 2 decades after the first picture in 1984. And the second picture is a family picture of the present-day Afghan girl with 2 of her children and her husband. Take a look at that picture in the essay. The first picture is extremely haunting. The second picture is extremely, it truly bothers me. Just look at that picture. It is disturbing. There's her husband. Look at his facial expression. Look at the present day Afghan girl who is now in her early 30s. And then look at her little toddler, a little girl. Look at her face. It's interesting how in the past, since that first picture was taken in 1984, it's interesting how things change in our lives. In my life, I've danced with death a couple times, and I realized something that other people only realize intellectually. If you're watching this video and going to read this essay, regardless of your age, you know that you are not immortal, that someday you will not have another day to live. You get it up here, but you don't get it in your gut unless you've done the dance. And when you do the dance successfully, it will change your life. And one of the things it has done to me, the real realization that I'm not immortal, in my gut, it has changed the way I view life and how I'm going to live the days remaining in my journey down the yellow brick road of life. Those 2 haunting pictures express a concern that I have about the way we treat women. We treat women, I mean, it is just an issue of sexism. And it disturbs me that we are not, even in America, doing enough to liberate women from the place that males have put them. So, so that's the backstory for me about Dance with Death. I woke up to living, and I'm going to do better than I would have had I not done the dance, either one of my dances. The question for you is, what is a legacy that you're going to leave your family and the world in which you live after you have no more days journeying down the yellow brick road of your life? How are you going to change your world and the people that live around you so that they can live in a much freer and much more open society? We discriminate against a lot of people, women, minorities. That needs to change. And interestingly, the date of that picture was 1984. That is also the title of George Orwell's novel, 1984. And interestingly, Orwell spent some time in a country that I dearly love. Back then it was called Burma. Today it is called Myanmar. I read what Orwell has written about his stay in what he called Burma. And it is transformative. But 1984 should be a haunting date for all of us. We need to address the issues that Orwell brought up before it is too late. Too late for women or too late for us. I hope these photographs in this essay haunt you enough so that you can act and be proactive in the world in which you live. In the meantime, take care. Thank you.